name's Tim Fifner, and I'm president of Great Lakes Clay in Elgin, Illinois. We came out to Riverside Brookfield High School today to do a Raku workshop. Raku is an ancient Japanese style of firing that you can do very quickly. We get the kiln up to about 1800 to 2000 degrees in a half hour. Where in a classroom situation, the electric kiln can take up to 12 hours to do this. We do it in a half hour. You can see the glazes melt in the kiln. Once they're matured, we take them out of the kiln and we put them in these reduction cans over here. By putting them in the reduction cans with flammable materials, we create a flame with the hot pots, and we put the lid on the can to douse the flame. The flame wants to live with oxygen, so it goes inside the Raku clay and the glaze and sucks the oxygen out of it. This is called the reduction process because we're reducing the oxygen. Okay, well, this is the glaze called the Blue Magic, and it gets all these different colors in here by the reduction. And at the top, the student put a clear glaze on the top of it so you can see the crackle on the clear glaze. And depending on where it was in the can, this part here, this whole copper part, was actually laying down in the sawdust, which got really heavily reduced. And this part here, up in here, was actually up in the air, and I threw some leaves on top of it, and which gave us different lusters in that area and over here too. And then the smoke from the sawdust blackened the lines here for the crackle. And this glaze here on this pot is called copper patina. You can tell that it has kind of a texture to it. It never smooths out really. And it has different lusters. This is all one glaze. You can see the different effects on the different parts of the glaze depending on where it was reduced. This copper part down at the bottom was actually sitting down in the sawdust. And then these parts here are where the leaves went up against it and created, like right here you can see some gold right there. This piece here was glazed with the clear crackle glaze. The clay body is actually white, so it looks white under the glaze, and the glaze is made to crackle. And so here now you see the lines where it was crackled, the smoke got in there and created that black line effect. This whole pot was just the clear crackle. Now this here, where you see the silver, that will actually be scrubbed off. So if you take a scrubby pad, you can see that comes off. It just takes a little elbow grease and a SOS pad, and that'll brighten the piece up. Unless the person wants that silver there, then they would just leave it alone. And it was glazed, the entire interior was glazed with the clear crackle also. Okay. Now we're going to turn the heat up on the kiln. That's about as high as it's going to get, and you can take a look in the kiln here, how the orange at the bottom that's what I call the fire chamber. It's underneath the shelves, and that orange heat was going to start rising up. You can already see the glaze is melting, and you got to be careful because the wind's going that way. You're probably going to get a little warm. Now if you look at the piece over in the corner over there that looks green on the top, that looks like it's either the copper patina or the turquoise crackle glaze. The rim gets hot first and melts the glaze down. So what we do is we just monitor inside the kiln and look at the way the glazes are melted, and then as soon as the glazes are completely melted and look like molten glass, then we'll turn the kiln down and take the pieces out and put them in the cans. So, and that's the Raku process. Okay, grab away. Right now these pieces are probably around 1800 degrees. And they're going to pick these up and put them in the cans, 2 in each can, guys. Okay, let's go over here. I got to put some stuff on here and put the lid on. So now the one pot over on the far side is a turquoise crackle, so I'm not really too worried about the leaves being in it. The pot here closest to us is the Blue Magic, so that one I want to get a little luster going in. All right, so that was the first step of the reduction by putting the hot pots in the combustibles and having it ignite. We let it ignite, fire for about 10-15 seconds, and then we put the lid on it and douse it. We're reducing the oxygen, and that's why we call it reduction. So, and then here again in about 10 minutes we'll take those out and put them in the water, and the pots will be done. Now we're going to do the final stage of the firing. I'm going to take the pieces out of the reduction can and I'm going to put them in a bucket of water. This stops the reduction process, so whatever they look like going into the water is the way they will stay. So I'm going to take them out now. This is a copper patina pot. See the different colors on that. And this was a blue magic pot, the luster's in there. Okay, now we're going to go over to the other can. There's 2 pieces in here. Turquoise crackle. All right, and that little plate I could probably take out of the water right now. See, it has some nice luster on it. Still a little warm. This is also the turquoise crackle. You can see where it cracked in some lines there. It was kind of a thin coating though, but where it was laying in the sawdust, got some gorgeous lusters right there. And then it was all copper. And then we go back to the lusters right there. So that piece came out really nice. This is the copper patina. All one glaze. Depending on how it was reduced, this is where the sawdust was hitting it. There's some leaves hit it right there. Just gorgeous, gorgeous lusters on this. And then on the inside, you get some really nice lusters right there. Yeah, this student should be really, really happy with this piece. Really, really nice. Oh, yeah. This is a Blue Magic bowl. This is the Blue Magic glaze. And this is just with some leaves tossed on top of it. You can see the golds and the magenta. Just that bowl came out just gorgeous. And then underneath where it was sitting in the copper, where it was sitting in the sawdust, you got a gorgeous copper right there. And then right here, this rainbow effect right there, that's where the sawdust ended. And you got a really nice flashing of luster right there. This bowl is really, really nice. So the nice thing about the Raku firing at a high school setting is that the kids can have their pieces out in about a half hour. And for the majority of them, they get very, very interested in it, and hopefully they want to take some more ceramic classes. And there's some chemistry involved in here. I try not to get too deep into that because there is some chemical change in the glazes when we go in the reduction can. But it has to do mainly with the way the flame acts with the copper. So anyway, it's a very exciting day, and most of the kids are really, really enthusiastic about it. And right now, we're about ready to take these pieces out of the can, so you can see us taking the pieces out of the can, putting them in the reduction can.